1 p.m. I'm going to begin by establishing a quorum by a roll call vote, or excuse me, a roll call. Nicole Booker.
Here.
Jeremy Pierce.
Here.
Lindsay Spain.
Here.
I'm here as well. Jason Guy and Benji Woodard were not able to join us tonight, and Chris Kaiser is on his way back from out of town, and he was trying to get back, so he said he may be a few minutes late jumping on. But we do have a quorum, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. We're going to begin with our reading of the ethics statement. Conflict of interest reminder per NCGS 138A-15E. Board members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of this board. Does any member of the board know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the meeting chair. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. We're going to move now next to our approval of our June 2025 meeting minutes, as well as our July 2025 special meeting minutes. I will entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I will go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
And I will vote aye as well. Motion carries. We're now going to move on to our next item on the agenda, which is public comment. And I believe we do have a public comment this evening. I believe it's Mr. Anderson.
They're all up there.
Yep.
Hi, Mr. Anderson. You'll have 2 minutes, and I will go ahead and let you get started.
Sounds good. I don't think I'll need that long. Basically, with the new no personal device policy, I'm just looking forward to seeing the build out of the infrastructure that you didn't necessarily need as much because there were devices in the classroom. The areas that I've heard about from my kids are things like dictionaries, atlases, encyclopedias, just those basics that were in the classrooms when I went to school, because we didn't do personal devices when I went to school. And those type of things are like, we just have to get them bought and put in classrooms. And then the other thing is stuff like I remember my teachers living at the photocopier between classes. They had a photocopier a few steps away from each classroom. And they also had access to things like Scantron machines that would help with mass grading and stuff like that. All those pieces of infrastructure that really help make the classroom move smoothly. That was kind of what I remember, and just curious where we are on maybe building that out a little bit. Also, there's not really a school library at this school. My kids have been going there for about 7 years, and I know there's the room in the 4th and 5th grade building, but there's not like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're hanging out at the library. So I was curious where that was on the priority list, especially with the not having devices everywhere all the time, because that type of resource is going to be more important. So that's my comment. Just curious of any info that can be shared either in this meeting or just moving forward. And that's my comment. And hopefully I didn't go over.
Michelle, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for being with us tonight and for providing your feedback and your comments. We typically, as a board, don't respond to public comment immediately thereafter, but hearing what you're saying, I think it may be a good idea if you reach out to Dr. Blackwell with some of these specific questions, and I think Dr. Blackwell can probably answer some of those for you. And then if you do have further questions after that, we'll try to answer those for you. But I think Dr. Blackwell will probably have more information, and then she can provide that for you. Do you have her email address?
I'm sure I do,
Okay.
and sounds good. I'll do that, and I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. We're always glad to hear from you.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So we're concluded our public comments. Guest discourse. I believe, Dr. Blackwell, I guess we wanted to move on straight into our finance.
Yeah, so we had invited Michael to join us to help guide a conversation that the Finance Committee had last week and the week before about investing some of Neuse's money into some more return on what we're getting as opposed to our current setup. And so, Jeremy, I don't know where you want to jump in, or Mike, or however you all want to take it from here.
I mean, this is my first meeting as a treasurer, so yay me. But we've had 2 meetings. Mike, we met total with what's the name of that?
Prestige, we had Kathy.
My stepbrothers. And then we met with Mike a week later. And what we've talked about is that we've got a lot of money sitting in a non-interest bearing account. And so Mike was kind enough to come to our campus twice from Lake Lure to discuss some things. And Mike, I'm gonna turn it over to you now, bud.
Yep. Yeah, of course. And that, I'm sorry, I just had to laugh at that. That was the best callback that I've heard in a long time for Prestige, just like Step Brothers. That's awesome. So it's so nice to meet you guys. Mike Loyacano. I'm a financial advisor in North Carolina, in South Carolina, and a couple other states around the Southeast, but I deal exclusively with independent schools of choice. And this is a common theme for well-run charter schools. So I will just give you guys a pat on the back that you guys have the ability to have a discussion around this, because there are a lot of schools out there who just simply don't have the resources or an emergency fund set aside. So you should take a moment to just appreciate that and all the hard work that's been put into getting a reserve like this built up. To cut to the straight and narrow as it pertains to this, I look at 3 things anytime I have a conversation with a board or leadership when it comes to this. And it's really compliance, it's safety, and it's return. So in North Carolina, you have more flexibility when it comes to taking your idle funds, your cash in your bank, and putting it into something for a higher return. I don't recommend being overly aggressive. There are schools out there that will invest in stocks and corporate bonds and other instruments. But for the most part, what I know to be a fact and what our auditors seem to appreciate on the compliance end is CDs, which are certificates of deposit, or treasuries. So that seems to be the most common method that charter schools in particular are using. Safety, that second piece I discussed, you're going to have that with CDs and treasuries because CDs are FDIC insured, and treasuries, of course, are backed by the good faith and credit of the United States. And then return, I try to keep those in an order of priority as well. Return is the lowest, obviously, but it's also very important. And right now we have the funds in more of a regional style bank. It's KS Bank, which I believe is local, which is great for our operating account, but it doesn't have much of a return, if any. I think our money market account is getting around 2%. We have about 900,000 in that. And then we have several million in our operating account. and that's not really getting anything as far as interest. So through what I presented to Melissa and Jeremy, we recommend considering just a laddered approach with CDs and treasuries to hit all three of those points and increase that return nearly 100%. Right now, we're averaging around, I'd say, 3.5% to 4% on those CDs and treasuries. We're starting to see that taper down a little bit because of what we're seeing with the Federal Reserve, but it's still much better than what you would be getting in the KS Bank. With that said, I threw a lot at you. I can get really nerdy with this stuff, so I've already put Melissa and Jeremy to sleep several times, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have or just expand and elaborate on anything further.
Michael, I'm Nicole Booker, and thank you for coming and thank you for speaking with us. I do have to say that I'm from Rutherford County, and so I very rarely meet anybody from Rutherford County. So tell everyone
my goodness.
I said hello. But what, as far as the CDs are concerned, what term do you typically recommend for those?
Well, that's awesome to hear, Nicole. What a small world.
Yeah.
That's a great question. So what we discussed in the finance committee was a laddered approach, and think of the rungs of a ladder as you climb up it. So we're not going to put everything into something that's a year long or 2 years long or anything like that. I try to employ a strategy where every few months we have money coming available. So think, 3-4 months, a tranche of that is going to become accessible. And at that point, I have to reach out to whoever the authorized contact is, which would, most likely be Dr. Blackwell or Amanda. Jeremy could certainly be that as well if he wanted to be. And then I have to say, hey, we have this money. It's available. Would you like me to roll it into the next rung of the ladder, or do you guys need it for operating? Here's where our days cash on hand is sitting. But that's the most common strategy that I employ with schools. And that enables us to have, that locked in return, but also the flexibility when those funds are coming accessible every few months.
Mike,
Thank you.
And Nicole, his proposal is in the shared drive. And Mike, am I correct in saying there's no penalty if the worst case scenario was to happen? We could get every dime out tomorrow with no penalty at all.
Yeah, so that was a question that we had discussed at the committee meeting as well. So let's say for whatever reason North Carolina decides they're not going to fund the school anymore, and you guys have to figure out the next few months on your own. These don't have penalties like you would see at a traditional bank. They actually trade in the secondary market. So I could take this CD or this treasury and sell it, just like you would any other investment. Now, the risk associated with that is if interest rates have fluctuated in between us buying it and when we sell it, we could sell it for less than what we put into it. Which is why I don't recommend that. But I always like to discuss, if for whatever reason everything just blew up, what are we gonna do? Haven't seen that happen in all the years I've been doing it, but always good to put it out there.
Are there any other questions? Comments? Does anyone need a few minutes to review the proposal?
Jeremy, is this just a point of information to consider, or are we looking for a Are you going to present us?
The finance committee is bringing this to a vote tonight.
Okay.
If y'all feel comfortable.
Okay.
We have met with Mike twice in person, and are very comfortable with what he brings to the table. And these are CDs, so you know the interest rates are pretty standard. And anyway, this is what the finance committee is presenting. But we wanted Mike to join us tonight, and I'm glad he did. Just to answer any questions that you have. Like I said, he spent some hours with us going over it, but we wanted y'all to feel comfortable with what we're doing. Ultimately, if we got $1, it's more than we're getting right now. So, and Prestige does the rest of our work, and Mike is with them, and so we feel comfortable with what we're presenting to y'all. So, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm
Another
glad
thing,
something like this. I'm glad we're thinking about how we can protect what we have, and then also kind of grow that also. So yes, I think we're on the right track.
I mean, I
thank
think
you,
I've said,
Chris.
I'm
Sorry, Lindsay. I'll add one more thing just for the consideration of the board. I think it's a pertinent thing that I failed to bring up earlier, so I apologize. But the school has several $1 million with this KS Bank. For those of you who are unfamiliar with finance, FDIC insurance limits only cover $250,000 per institution, per EIN. Think of your EIN as your social security number. It's the same thing. So your 990, your tax return, everything is tied to that. But as the government looks at you guys, if something ever happens with KS Bank, that principal is subject to risk. So that was another thing that we had discussed. Whereas this strategy that we're employing with the funds that are being put into this institution, every last dollar is insured. It doesn't matter if we have $2 million there or $15 million there. We will protect every last dollar that's there. I just wanted to put that out there.
Lindsay, did you have a question?
no, I was just going to say that I think I've said this before, but I think part of our duty as board members is to make sure that we are being good stewards of the money. And if there's a way to have passive investment that's low risk for the school that has built in, like they've done here, the ability to get it out if we need it, I don't see how we can't do it.
And Dr. Blackwell, correct me if I'm wrong, but we talked with Ms. Highfield, and we've allocated enough money to support operating costs for a couple of months, and before we've even decided. So the amount that we're presenting to invest is a very conservative amount. Probably could be more, but not. We're starting conservative, knowing, and like Mike said, we can always invest more later. So, I mean, we've sat down and kind of hashed over these numbers, and this is what we present tonight, I guess, would be what we all feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, that proposal to the investment amount, is that the 1.5 million that's on page 6?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Which is less than what we originally were discussing, but that's kind of the number we set on that we all felt comfortable with.
And what type of return on this investment are we looking at? So I'm looking at the accrued interest. I'm looking at page 6, and it looks like it's $2,800.
No, accrued interest is interest that you that has already built up in an instrument that you purchase.
Okay.
So it's something that's already there. So they have to that's like money that's owed to somebody else who's held on to that instrument for some time. So this particular proposal, I believe, was 3.73% is what it had averaged. So if you extract that out over a 12-month period on 1.5, that's around 55,000 just on that tranche.
Okay.
And my goal is always to we try to get a teacher salary at least, on anything that I do. So, and then as Jeremy said, as the school year goes on, as you folks start to see that come into the account, and we feel like we're in a place where, okay, we're good, we're at an operating cash level where we feel comfortable, maybe you can allocate more towards that return as well.
Okay. And Dr. Blackwell, I'm assuming not, particularly, for, prestige being involved, but as far as charter schools go or educational institutions, there's no legal limitations on what we can on investing or purchasing CDs, that type of thing.
We have to use local funds. We can't use federal or state.
Okay, thanks. Okay, any other questions, comments? Hearing none, I think I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposal brought forth by the Finance Committee for Ameriprise Financial. And if folks are not comfortable, and need more time, that's fine too. But I do want to give the board opportunity to make a motion if they would like.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion on the matter. Chris, looked like you were going to say something.
Sorry.
No. Okay. So we have a motion to approve the recommendation brought forth by the Finance Committee by Ameriprise Financial. And there's no further discussion. I'll go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Motion carries. And motion is approved. All right.
Thank you, Mike, for coming.
Absolutely.
Mike,
And,
thank you so much for being here.
it's my pleasure. Look forward to helping you guys. And anytime any of you want to reach out or just ask me any questions, Dr. Blackwell should have my cell phone number, and feel free to share that with anybody that asks for it. Sometimes I always get an engineer who's like, I want to know the nitty gritty detail on everything. So I'm always happy to talk shop on that. But I appreciate you all, and look forward to helping you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
You too, buddy.
Thank you. Dr. Blackwell, do we have any correspondence from our authorizer?
Nothing formal. I did want to let you know that they did renorm the science EOG. We just got those scores last week. And it's about this time that they start to release the preliminary report card data. We can expect that by the 1st of September.
Okay.
And then the state board will confirm it in October. And then I'll present all of that to you all in October.
That's right. I believe we do our data deep dive in October.
We do.
All right. And for our superintendent report.
I just have one thing for your approval, and then just something to think about for moving forward. So Office of Charter Schools has been sharing out updates about all kinds of things that are coming with a new superintendent. There are new policies. And so I will be bringing you some new policies to be added to our handbook in September.
Because it needs to be a little bit longer.
Because it needs to be a little bit longer. I would tell you that the Coalition of Charter Schools shared out model policies for us to adopt, which is beautiful because we can just literally grab them and drop them in. But they're waiting on a couple of general statutes to be revised and updated based on some new things that have just come through legislation. But one of the things, we already have it in our handbook, but the suggestion is that we add it to our charter agreement. And that is the statement that's in my superintendent report. What they want is to see in the meeting minutes that the board has approved this statement so that I can put it in the charter, update the general statute, and have that approved by the state board. So the statement is in there. It's already in our handbook. But they want to see that because it has to do with student discipline, that they want it to be kind of in both places. And a lot of charters are having to update. I just watched the state board meeting a couple weeks ago, and there was a bunch in there. There's probably going to be a handful more in September. I'd like for ours to be one of them. So it's the statement about exclusion, that we utilize exclusion as a disciplinary consequence under its code of conduct and abides by the due process required under General Statute 115C-218.60 and its charter agreement. Procedures by which students can be excluded from the charter school are outlined in the discipline policies and code of conduct, because they consider that a material addition to code of conduct. And when Neuse Charter first opened, that was not included in their charter. We need to make sure that that statement is in our charter. So I have to submit the meeting minutes from this meeting where we talked about it, and if you all approve it, so I can get that added.
So if it's approved, I guess we'll have to wait until, do we have to wait until these minutes, the minutes from this meeting are approved before you can send them over?
No, I just need them documented in there.
Is it in the shared drive?
Yes.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I just, whenever it's in the shared drive, I always make sure to note that and that they're incorporated by reference.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to amend our charter agreement with the addition of the language in Dr. Blackwell's superintendent report.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, sorry, go ahead. Were you going to say something, Chris?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
I'm good.
She wants you to say something.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying something now. Okay, good.
I'm being observant. I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'll go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
And Lindsay?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The only other thing is, I would like to suggest that we consider moving our regularly scheduled August meetings, moving into 26, 27 to July. We currently don't have a July meeting, but we have an August meeting. And as was the case this summer, there was a lot of things that we needed to get updated and revised. And August is very, very busy. So I don't feel like the amount of time to prepare for our August meeting is available to me like it is in July. And I don't have as many things to report in August because it's really the third week of school and there's no official, ADM. We're still enrolling kids. And there's a lot of sickness, by the way. So I'm just suggesting that maybe we consider, instead of having an August meeting, that we have a July meeting instead of August. Because by the time September comes, I've got all kinds of information for you all that I can confirm and share, but not so much in August.
Sounds reasonable.
So it's nothing we have to do right now. I just wanted to toss that out there because I know
Do we
that
need to, since we voted on the meetings before, do we need to go ahead and vote on altering the meeting schedule now?
we can.
So
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to move our August meeting to July and have a July meeting instead of the August meeting.
Yep. I move that we amend our
I have a
calendar.
question about that.
Okay.
That will not be for this coming year. That will technically be for the 2026 to 2027 calendar year because our board year ends in 2025. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
That's,
I mean,
yes.
our board year ends in June because that's when we do elections. So I
Right.
just want to make sure that's clear for people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I move that we move, that we have a meeting in July of 2026, and then from then on.
We have a second.
I'll be happy to
Second.
second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
Lindsay,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything else for your superintendent report?
Not at this time.
Okay. I do think we need closed session for personnel approval.
We do.
All right. Do we have anything additional for our financial report?
No, you have in the shared drive the preliminary June year-end report. We don't typically go over that until we get it confirmed, and that happens about October. So that is just in there as an FYI. And then we also have the preliminary July report, which is, contingent upon ADM and the number of students. So both of those are in there for your information. And the more formal confirmed reports will be shared in September for this month.
Any questions for Dr. Blackwell? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Blackwell. We'll now move on to our standing committee reports. Governance Committee, Nicole did not meet, correct?
No.
Financial Oversight Committee. Jeremy, do you have anything additional from the financial? Okay.
No, we're good.
Risk Management did not meet. Do we have anything from the Facilities Committee?
The latest update on the new building is that last week I was told to be ready for a pre-construction meeting within the next 2 weeks. So hopefully between now and the end of next Friday, we will have a groundbreaking date.
Wonderful. That's exciting. That is something to celebrate.
It is. We are so excited. So excited.
Okay. Strategic Planning Committee did not meet. I don't believe we have any unfinished or new business. So I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for personnel discussion pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6.
I move we move to closed session.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any discussion? I will go ahead and call for a vote. Nicole,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
and Lindsay.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. I will see you in closed session.